Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to your Lunch Break Live. My name is Ivana Harinkyu if you're new here, and if you're not, thank you for coming back. Today is Thursday, March the 10th, and today we're talking about some severe weather that is in store for Alabama in the next day or so. I am joined by our weather reporter, Leigh Morgan, and she is here today to talk about some of the weather that is coming into our state. And unfortunately for a lot of us, that includes both severe weather and storms and snow. So, Leigh, there's a lot to break down here. We've got some graphics that we're going to share and kind of give people an idea of what could happen in their area. But first, let's talk about snow. I think that's probably the thing that frightens more people, and they probably want to go ahead and be prepared for. So let's go into snow. And where are we expecting to see snow? When is it expected to come in?
Well, we've all been burned by snow lately. A lot of us remember the snowpocalypse, so that kind of left an impression. But we're not talking about anything like that this go around. Okay, so tomorrow, most of the day tomorrow is going to be okay, and we're going to have a strong cold front come through late tomorrow night. Now, in front of that cold front, there could be some storms, but behind that front, the leftover rain has the potential to change over into some snow. And so you're looking at the map right now. This is from the National Weather Service issued this morning. So this is their best guess at snow and really we're looking at midnight tomorrow night through early Saturday morning is the time frame here. Northwest Alabama, you can see up there, is forecast right now to get the most, up to 2 inches in some spots. And then areas as far south as the Interstate 20 corridor and points north could get a half inch or so. So, I mean, anybody that's spent any time in Alabama knows how this goes. There are going to be some surprises. Some people are going to get more than they expect. Some people are going to get nothing and feel cheated. I'm sorry to you people, but that's just the way it goes. Especially with systems like this where they're timing how long is the rain going to hang around and when's the cold air going to get here? It's always touch and go. So it's a very tricky forecast. And I do not envy the weather service at all having to deal with this. So what we're looking at, and here's the other thing. The other thing is on Saturday, it is going to be cold and miserable. Okay. There's just no other way to say it. I'm sorry. But temperatures are going to be, especially in North Alabama and North Central Alabama, are not going to get out of the 30s all day on Saturday. So any precipitation of any kind that falls has the potential to hang around, especially like on bridges, those elevated areas and shady spots, and stay frozen. So really, if you're anywhere along and north of the I-20 corridor, you got to be careful when you're getting out and about on Saturday morning to watch out for some slick spots because they'll be out there. Now, they don't think the snow is going to stick around long on your grassy surfaces, because it's been so warm lately. So they're not really worried about that. It's just those elevated surfaces that stay cold, that take a long time to warm up, where you'll have to be real careful.
Well, and it looks like, again, from this map, and I know that you got this map from the National Weather Service this morning. And again, this map is showing midnight tomorrow. So I guess that's technically midnight Saturday, right? Through 6 a.m. on Saturday. So this is a late night thing tomorrow through early morning Saturday. Kind of looks like that top third of the state is really what is expected to get hit with snow. But if you look at, especially as you mentioned a minute ago, those northwest corners of the state, that is if you're looking at the legend on the side of this map based on the color blues, that's a dark blue. That's a lot of snow for that region. And I would say probably the most that we've expected there probably all year.
Yeah, I mean, they've had to deal with some snow several times so far this year, but so we'll just have to see how this plays out. There are always surprises, and you guys know it never goes according to plan, but this is their best guess, and so we'll just have to see how it goes. So yeah, 2 inches is good snow to play in. Hopefully you can make a snowman out of it. And, if it's going to be that cold, and it's also going to be windy tomorrow. So y'all keep an eye out for wind chills are going to be really cold. So if it's going to be cold and windy, at least you have a little snow to play with or to look out at, softens the blow a little bit.
Right. Give us a little bit of beauty in there as well. But you mentioned a few minutes ago that those temperatures are going to stay low. So it does look like some of this could stick around. How long do we expect it to stick around? If it comes in late Friday night, early Saturday morning, how long do we expect it'll hang around, especially on those elevated surfaces, until it melts away?
Well, temperatures on Saturday for most places are going to rise above freezing. That in the forecast, it's going to be cold. It's going to be in the 30s, but most places will probably get above that 32-degree point. It's just those shaded areas that don't get a lot of sun that stay cold. Your valley areas, your colder spots have a greater chance of that stuff sticking around. And then Saturday night into Sunday morning, it's going to be frigid, especially for this time of year. You're going to see lows dropping down into the 20s, maybe even some teens in North Alabama, and even all the way down to the coast, they're going to be below freezing. That's Saturday night into Sunday morning. So anything that's left by Saturday night is going to hang around, and potentially you'll see some slick spots. So y'all, if y'all have to be out and about, just be real careful and take it easy on the roads.
So this might be a weekend where a lot of people maybe want to stay inside is what I'm hearing from you, Leigh.
Maybe. If not for the snow, just for the general miserableness of the cold and the wind, it's not a good combination. So
Right. So I want to pivot just a minute. We can go back to snow as well if we get more questions
okay.
there. But what I want to do is talk about the reason the snow is coming in, and that is some rain that is coming in tomorrow. There's actually a possibility for some strong to severe storms, particularly in the South Alabama region. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about those storms, when we can expect to see them, and what could come along with those storms. We've got another map about the storms in particular I'm going to pull up as well in just a minute.
Poor South Alabama. They've had a rough week. This will be the second round of potentially severe storms for them. So they had one Wednesday early, that's yesterday, Wednesday morning, where we actually had 3 tornadoes touch down in various spots in the state. So what we're looking at, this is the severe weather outlook map from the Storm Prediction Center, and they issued it last night. They're going to update it here in the next hour or so. So the next update will be coming soon, and they'll update it throughout the day on Saturday. This is for that cold front that's going to come through. So it's going to bring snow up north potentially, and then down south in the warm sector, so to speak, we have the potential for some severe storms. Now we're looking at all modes of severe weather. There could be tornadoes. There could be damaging winds that are strong enough to take down trees and power lines, and there could even be some hail. So everything's on the board for tomorrow. And this is another late night event for this area. So they're looking, most of the day on Friday should be okay for most people. You'll see some rain coming in from the south and extreme South Alabama, but from everywhere else, the day should be mostly dry. It's late on Friday afternoon and Friday nights when that cold front's going to make it through. So you just have to be on guard. And if it's an overnight event again, it's terrible, but y'all have to make sure if you're down in that area where it's in the yellow and in the green too areas, those are your higher severe weather risks. So the area in yellow has a slight risk. That's level 2 out of 5 levels that the Storm Prediction Center uses. And what that means really is scattered severe storms will be possible. Same as what happened on Wednesday. The area in dark green has a marginal risk. So that's a level 1 risk. So there could be isolated severe storms. So that doesn't mean if you're in the marginal risk area that you're in the clear. You're not, because we had a tornado in close to those areas on Wednesday. So you still need to be on guard. And since it's an overnight thing again, just make sure that you have one of those weather radios, or that you have your phone charged and off silent, and have a good weather app that'll wake you up in case something bad's coming your way. And the weather radios are like the gold standard. They will scare the living daylights out of you when they go off in the middle of the night, but they will do the job and wake you up. And if you don't have one of those, there's a ton of good smartphone apps that you can use. Just make sure that you have them set, that your phone's not on silent, so you'll know. And what they all say, and you guys probably all know this, but don't rely on a siren to wake you up, because they're not designed to be heard inside, right? Just outside. So don't count on that as your backup. So just have a couple of ways to get info if you need to wake you up.
So is this going to storm, this storm system that could again bring those strong, severe storms in particularly South Alabama? Is that coming in kind of at the same time? Is that system is bringing snow to the north, it's bringing rain to the south, or are these two separate systems?
No, it's one big old system that has everything in it. It has all the things, right? So we get a little bit of everything. It's just a strong cold front, and it's got a lot of cold air lurking behind it, right? So that cold air is going to get here fast enough to change the lingering rain from the front over to possibly snow, some sleet, that kind of thing. So it's just one big system. It's just a powerful storm system. And we get those this time of year because you've got, it's still cold up to the north of here, and then but you're warming up over the south and over the Gulf. So when those two air masses clash, this is what you get, and this is why our spring severe weather season is always so busy, unfortunately.
Well, and I know that you mentioned earlier when we were talking about the snow when it would warm up a little bit, but can we
Mhm.
expect to see the system get out of here on Saturday afternoon and into Sunday?
Yeah, it'll start to move out on Saturday, Sunday. Sunday is going to start really cold, but it's going to warm up really quick. So the snow on Saturday is going to kind of be a distant memory because highs are supposed to be in the 50s and 60s on Sunday. So it is going to be bitterly cold on Saturday, but it won't last all that long. If there's any consolation, there you go.
Well, I'm going to ask you to read into your crystal ball here for just a second, Leigh, and tell us, is this the last cold snap you think we're going to get? Is this the last threat of snow, or do you think that we could have one or two more surprising systems throughout the spring?
Well, you never know. I mean, I remember, I shouldn't age myself. I remember the big superstorm of 1993, where we had a foot of snow in mid-March, right? So it's always possible. You need to really get through March before you feel more confident about not having those late season cold snaps. They will be possible, through the month. I don't see one in the next week. Things should warm up in the next week and we should have more seasonal temperatures, but you just never know. It is Alabama. Anything can happen and has happened in the past. So just be prepared. I think, when you get to April, the first part of April, you should, in most cases, leave those cold snaps behind.
So we have a couple more weeks of unpredictability, it sounds like you're saying. And I was always raised that you don't get those spring plants, you don't put them out until before Easter. So I guess that is still the rule that we are going by.
Around tax time is what I always think about. Around mid-April is probably, you're usually safe after that. Knock on wood or something.
Anything you got by you. If I do that, the dogs are going to be crazy. So I'll leave that one till you, Leigh. Leigh, thank you so much for your updates here. I know you're going to be keeping us updated as the National Weather Service continues every several hours to release these new maps, these updated guidelines. I know you'll be busy for the next 24 hours or so, but you can find all of Leigh's reporting and all of these maps on AL.com/weather. We're going to leave some specific links here on the snow, on the storms for you to click on and get those updates as well. So Leigh, thank you so much for your expertise here. Thanks for preparing us. And it sounds like a lot of people have got to head out to the grocery store now and get their milk and bread. So Leigh, thank you so much. Everybody watching, thank you so much. And we will see you tomorrow.